Hello, and I hope that you're having a great day. I'm just popping in. I'm actually about to run to the grocery store, and I'm going to take the camera with me. I mentioned in my last video about like my inspiration. I watch like a lot of like girly channels and stuff, and they always have the nice backdrops and stuff like that, and so that's what I like. But I come to realize that I am not always able to sit you know, like down in my house somewhere or in my office, and you know, I said, you know, I just need to start probably just taking the camera with me, and I can always do the videos, you know, while I'm driving in the car. So today's video, I want to discuss with you about when you're making an offer. You know, you found the property and you know, negotiated with the seller and things like that, and now you need to present the offer. Just want to offer you some tips on how to present the offer. So what I wanted to share with you all today, like I said, is making offers to people. This is after. It's very important how you make the offer. Like, it's very important. The whole entire process from start to finish is for you to be strategic about everything you do. Like, there's a reason. What is the saying? There's a rhyme and a reason. Like, so there's a rhyme and a reason to, you know, everything that you do. You're not, you know, just doing this, you know, based on how you feel that day. So when you get ready to make an offer, it's very important that you give the seller of the house options. And when you give people options, you have a higher probability of getting what you want. And that's because, and I do like couple things. One, I love to study marketing. Two, I love to study like why do we think the way we think, or why do we act the way we act. So I'm always like reading books on kind of like, you know, understanding like human behavior and things like that. I even actually started a PhD program on that. I didn't finish, but so it's very interesting to me. So one of the things with the brain, with how we make decisions, is if you ask me a question, or if you know, ask anyone a question, the way we think is to say no, right? So, and that's why they'll say in any marketing or sales training, they're like, you have to program your mind to, hey, you know, you may have to go through 99 no's to get to one yes. So, and that's because most people, even when it's something good for them, something they need, they'll say no. We're just more inclined to say no when you ask yes or no questions. So that's why a lot of times when you take like sales training, they'll say do not ask sellers yes or no questions, because the answer will be no. In any type of sales training you take, they always say do not ask yes or no questions, because more than likely the person will say no, even if it's something they actually need. So the way the brain works though is when you have options in front of you, you stop thinking yes or no and you start thinking multiple choice. So if you give someone 3 options, they move away from thinking yes or no, and they just start to think, oh, which one should I pick, A, B, or C? They just automatically start to think that they need to pick one, okay? And so that is the reason why when you present offers, you want to present more than one offer to give people options, okay? So after you've done all the marketing, negotiation, and all that, keep your momentum up. Keep your momentum up and keep your strategy in place, and make sure you implement this. So one of the things, and I will I think it's already there in my membership area, the different options. I'll double check. If not, I will load it in this week of how I present offers so that it has this different option look. Okay, and I also okay, so the different options, number one is if you, based on your exit strategy. So if it's a wholesaling deal, then of course it would be, hey, I could just buy it all cash. One is usually the quickest closing. So that one is usually the lowest offer, because for wholesaling you have to add your wholesale fee, renovation costs is in there, and then even after that the cash buyer needs to make a profit. So usually a wholesaling deal, the wholesale offer is going to be the most. So you're going to have one option then that is saying, hey, this is our all cash offer to buy the property as is. Okay, number two, I usually say at a minimum make two options for them to choose from, but ideally three. But sometimes depends on the property and maybe the condition, that maybe three it doesn't work. Okay, or you don't have a cash buyer that wants to do the third option or something like that. So you have, one is the all cash offer, number two is some type of maybe like a subject to option where you're saying, hey, we'll take over the mortgage, and if they have, sometimes it's just for you to take over the mortgage, and then sometimes you can have an option of, we'll take over the mortgage and maybe we'll give you like a couple $1,000s or something like that, like $5,000 or something, like that. That's gonna all depends on the equity and the numbers that make the deal work. But for this video, I just want to emphasize to you to set up your business so that when you're ready to make offers, you're not just making one offer, you're making at least two or three. So that's why you want to learn what would your wholesaling all cash offer be, what would like a subject to offer look like, a owner finance, or like subject to, another thing for subject to is owner financing. And I'll do a video explaining like exactly what that is. But like I said, in this video, I just want to emphasize to just have different options. Now, usually a subject to offer can be higher. Sometimes a subject to offer can be like 80% of the value of the house, whereas your all cash offer may be 50-60% of the value of the house. So even really if based on what they told you, but the subject to deal does not work, you still want to present it, because when you present it, it gets the seller in the mind of thinking that they need to be flexible on price and terms. Like we need to come to an agreement, and we can kind of go back and forth to see between price and terms, what can we negotiate on that they will accept an offer. So like I said, the key here is just to present options so that the seller is not in the frame of mind or yes or no. They're in the frame of mind of thinking to negotiate with you on price, negotiate with you on the terms and things like that. So you always want to gear them towards a discussion, towards a negotiation, as opposed to just filling out a contract and saying, hey, this is our offer, and sending it over, because that is going to have them in a state of mind of yes or no. And like I said, more than likely their answer will be no. Okay.